This video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and while supplies last, if you mention Saffron Olive in your order notes, we'll hook you up with a free Saffron Olive sticker with any Card Kingdom order. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Monday means it's Modern Monday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and apparently it is Underplayed Forgotten Tribe Week here on Modern Monday. We're looking at a deck today which looks more like something Richard would play on a janky tribal week of Commander Clash than a competitive Modern deck, but it's a deck that finished in the top 8 of a somewhat small Japanese tournament, and that is Kithkin Tribal comes to us from Ishikawa Shu, who took it to a top 8 finish in a, I think it was like 27-person Japanese tournament, which is not like tiny, it's not like a 7-player tournament or something where you're guaranteed a top 8. Also wanted to mention, before we talk about the deck, 105 bucks, 27 ticks, basically a budget deck, at least by our definition, so budget, maybe competitive, Kithkin for Modern. A quick reminder before we break down the deck. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So, Kithkin, why would you play the tribe in the Modern format? And the answer is, they get a Lord. That's pretty good. Wizard said, just a 2-mana Lord. Not that many tribes actually just have a 2-mana Lord. Kithkin is one of them. So just a 2-mana 2/2 that pumps our other Kithkin +1/+1. So obviously, if we can play a bunch of cheap Kithkin, this is going to make them bigger, let us get in damage. The other upside of the Kithkin tribe is it does legitimately have some very powerful 1-drops. The most powerful of the bunch, which might not be quite as good today as it was 10 years ago, is Figure of Destiny, which still, if this sits on the battlefield and grows for a couple turns, can be massive. Starts off as a 1/1 for 1, but for 1 extra mana becomes a 2/2, then for 3 more mana after that a 4/4, and finally for 6 mana 8/8 with flying and first strike, which is a really big threat. It becomes the biggest thing on the battlefield if you keep dumping mana into it, so it gives us an on-tribe 1-drop that's also an insane mana sink. If we run out of cards, we can always just dump all our mana into growing Figure of Destiny until it becomes the biggest, baddest, flyingest, first strikingest thing on the battlefield. Otherwise, Gold Medal Star War, actually pretty good. It's a 2/2 for 1. We got to reveal a Kithkin in our hand or pay 4 mana for it, so we always got to have the Kithkin in hand, but still, a 2/2 for 1, kind of the Kithkin Goblin Guide minus the haste. And then Burrington Forge Tender, good protection against Lightning Bolts, Anger of the Gods, cards like that, red-based damage spells. So that's our Kithkin plan. We also have another 2-drop Kithkin, which is Knight of Meadowgrain, which is a little weird. 2/2 first strike lifelink for 2, not bad stats, but not really exciting by modern standards, but still, it gives us a Kithkin to reveal the Gold Medal Star War, to grow from our Wizened Sen, so fine with the rest of our deck. The awkward thing about our Kithkin deck is we can't really be fully Kithkin, because the Kithkin get much, much weaker after our 1 and 2 drops we've been talking about, so we kind of branch out into some other white cards. To back up Wizened Sen, we get Honor of the Pure, just an anthem for white creatures. All of our deck is white, so everything is +1/+1, and then Wiltleaf Liege, a big top-end threat, kind of fights through discard a little bit if our opponent has something like Liliana, and pumps all of our white creatures, so it gives us a ton of anthem effects. So suddenly, our cheap 1-mana Kithkin that are like 1/1s and 2/2s could end up 3/3s, 4/4, 5/5s, and really big damage-generating creatures. We also have Ranger of Eos, obviously not a Kithkin, however, all of our 1-drops are Kithkin. So when Ranger of Eos comes into play, it's going to snag our best 2 Kithkin, maybe 2 Figure of Destinies, or whatever we need, a Burrington Forge Tender for protection from our deck. So even though it's technically not a Kithkin, it will find us Kithkin, so honorary Kithkin Ranger of Eos. Otherwise, Spectral Procession, we got a lot of anthems that pump white things. 3 1/1 white flyers for 3 mana with our all-white mana base is a pretty good deal. Like, if we play this, play a couple of anthem type effects, we can just jank out the win with flyers. As far as interaction, we get 4 Path to Exile and 2 copies of Shining Shoal, which I have not seen played in Modern ever, at least in a very long time. Basically, Shining Shoal, you pay 2 white and X, prevent X damage from a source, and deal X damage to target creature or player. So you basically save yourself or one of your things from an amount of damage and get to throw that at something else. You can also exile a white card from your hand, so it works well with like Spectral Procession, which is technically a ton of mana, so you can prevent a lot of damage that way. But mostly, we're probably using this to prevent a lightning bolt at a creature, throw it at one of our opponent's creatures, something along those lines. In the mana base, Windbrisk Kites, a little bit of free value. We don't have anything insane to cheat to play with it, but still, we get a lot of creatures. We're going to be attacking with them, so even a free Wizened Sen, random Kithkin, perfectly fine in our deck. Castle Ardenvale for late game value, a bunch of planes. In the sideboard are other Kithkin, Brig to Forgetender. If we run into red removal decks, we can bring in more of them. Otherwise, a bunch of targeted hate. Damping Sphere for decks like Amulet Titan in Tron, Rest in Peace for graveyard decks, Stony Silence for artifact-based decks, Tron, Hardened Scales, etc., etc., etc. Even Mind Sensor, also good against Primeval Titan style decks. Sorcerer's Spyglass is a removal for things on the battlefield. Dismember for creatures. Active Aggression. I mean, sometimes you just gotta pay 4 life to threaten something and gain control of it. It is instant speed, so you can kind of get a 2-for-1 potentially, but still a unique choice in the deck. And that is Budget Modern Kithkin. And that's been our instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.